Hello. So what I want to do today is finally plant my tomatoes and cucumbers and melons in the back garden. They were way too long in the windowsill and that's why they're so leggy, but I hope it's gonna be fine. So where I want to put them I want to put them all the way there, where the lettuces are. As a matter of fact, I was growing some lettuces here for the after the winter, and I would say that you can do it in the back garden. Just make sure that there is something growing in this space all the time, otherwise cats and foxes will leave some package there for you and it's not very healthy. There is a lot of pathogens in it. So as long as you keep the whole area covered through the winter with the winter crop and then straight with the lettuce when the spring starts, then it should be fine. But anyway, first thing first, what I want to do is finally see how much compost I produced in this back garden composter. At the same time, I want to collect many worms from here, as we did last year, and worms from here will go to vermicomposter on the allotment. So this year I want to only use my vermicompost and the back garden compost to feed tomatoes, melons and cucumbers that's going to be growing here. At some point I might bring some confetti, so you know, we will see. The thing is, I just want to test and see if this will be enough to feed the plants so they produce nice fruits. I'm adding compost to this bed here for last 2 years, so I hope there is really good microbial life which will allow for this continuous release of nutrients for the plants. So we'll see. Alright, so that's what we have. So this is the finished compost down here. As you can see, we still have some worms, processing scraps that were not removed. We have some slugs here which are processing you know, fresh layer that was just added, so they're shredding this, and then this layer most likely somewhere here, basically between the finished compost and the fresh layer, is when the most of the worms activity is, because they take this a bit processed stuff and change it into the black soil. So that's where I hope to get most of the worms, from this layer. So what we will do, we're gonna get the fresh stuff out here, then we're gonna collect this layer and put it in the bucket, and I'm gonna remove as many worms as I can from there, collect as many worms as I can from there, and then we're gonna get to the finished compost and spread it on the top of the beds. Okay, so the all compost from here is now spread on the beds. There were not many bits that I have to remove, despite like maybe some potatoes and plastics bits, you know, that some branches, but most of the things changed it into nice crumbly soil. So as you can see, I put some generous layer of this compost on the bed. Now I'm not gonna fork it in because I'm trying to use no dig methods. So what I will do now, I'm gonna plant all these tomatoes, melons and cucumbers, and all I'm gonna do is just make a hole and fill it with my worm castings that I produced on the plot, because I still have some left, and that's pretty much all we're gonna use. So I think I'm gonna space tomatoes every like 15 inches, melons 20 inches and cucumbers 18, although cucumbers will be going here a bit later on because they're still growing in the modules. Actually, one more tip, guys. If you're growing very leggy tomatoes like I do, because the only way you can do it is on the windowsill, and you're always gonna end up with leggy tomatoes. And then when you're planting, it's better to actually lay them on the ground like this, especially if it's windy. You know, this way they're not gonna get broken by the wind. You know, their stems will not snap. Like for example these, I should probably put them on the ground as well. There you go. It's just basically safer option. The other thing with leggy tomatoes, make sure that you put them as deep as possible, because the lower part of the stem will be much thinner than the one above. So if you can, just try to put them as deep as possible to reach this thicker stem. If you cannot do it, at least put the string as low as possible, because as the tomato grows, you know, this stem will just get bigger while the one at the bottom will be thinner. So eventually you might be risking that the stem will go like this and snap at some point. But I never had this happen. I think only maybe once, but that's because I put the string here instead of in the lower part. Also, when using string, make sure that you leave enough space, because remember that this stem will grow bigger. So you know, you don't want to basically hurt this stem with the string when it gets bigger than the space it has here. Okay, so almost all tomatoes are done. Now we're going to melons. I made this construction for them from 2 bamboo canes and some wire that I found on the plot. Hopefully it will be enough to support all the fruits once they grow. I'm gonna just put 2 here, and that's gonna be it. For cucumbers, I think I'm gonna put cucumbers here once they're ready, because this spot is it's dry. You know, there is an overhang, so there is not much rain coming here. So all in all, I hope it's gonna be the best spot for them. And this is how much worms I managed to collect just from my compost. All these guys will go to the vermicomposter, which is in the plot. So as you can see, there is a lot of benefits to your own compost, guys. You can use it on to grow your tomatoes. You can collect the worms to your vermicomposter, and you know, it's all done by you, all done using your own kitchen waste, and you know, it's just what the sustainable approach to gardening is all about. At least this is how I see it. So anyway, I'm just gonna put them in this bag, and I'm gonna keep them here until tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll just get them on the allotment site. Okay, so all done. Look how nice it looks like, all under this nice wall. This wall will you know, heat very much during the sunny weather, and then return the heat during the night, keep these guys warm. That's what they need, and also reflect the sunlight on them. So I hope it's going to be fine. Also, I'm excited to try growing tomatoes without any fertilizer, despite the one that we generated on our household. You know, the compost and the worm castings, all from the stuff from the kitchen waste. So let's see if it's going to be enough. But yeah, that's how it looks like. Also, these guys were hardened for like 4 days. Every time I came from work, I put them outside, you know, just to get them feel how it is to be outside, because they were cozy on the windowsill all the time. But the good thing is, tomorrow is going to be 20 degrees Celsius, but without any direct sun. All sun will be behind the clouds, so I hope they're going to have this going to allow them for this nice transition, rather than scorch their leaves or, you know, something like this. Right, anyway, that's gonna be it, and I will keep giving you updates how these guys are doing. So take care for now, guys. See you. Bye.